know, Fortnite have added some crazy things into their game, but we're taking a look at 20 of them that never got released. Like the supply drop signal. This legendary item allowed you to throw down a marker on the floor that would drop in your very own personal supply drop, exactly like any other supply drop on the map, but you were in control of where it landed. Unfortunately, at the start of Season 4 and Chapter 1, they removed all traces of this from the Fortnite files. When Travis Scott had his huge Fortnite event, he of course got his own Fortnite skin. It is not returned to the item shop in an extremely long time, but what if I told you there was going to be additional styles? Shared 5 months after the Fortnite Travis Scott Astronomical Live event, a verified leaker shared this image here showing Travis Scott in a long jacket, a cap, and gold chains. With the Travis Scott skin likely never coming back to Fortnite, we'll never see this style either. For purchasing the Founders Edition of Fortnite Save the World, we were going to be getting an exclusive emo. It was called Storm Salutation and saw the character raising their arm up in the air, but because of it being a bit too similar to the Praise the Sun gesture from Dark Souls, they ended up scrapping it and it never came out. Imagine you could eat Fortnite Durr burgers or chili sauce or even shakes to get yourself health and shield, where all of these were finished and put in the in-game files ready to use. You could walk into the Durr Burger store in Greasy Grove and eat a burger to heal up your health, just like foraging apples or mushrooms on the Fortnite island. In fact, you can even see this Durr Burger item in a loading screen from Chapter 1 Season 7. But unfortunately, all 3 of these consumables were scrapped, but I'd honestly love to see them come to the game still. Back in Chapter 1 Season 8, Fortnite added in a Gemini skin ready for the release of the next season that was all to do with the future. Available in a blue and red style, this skin looked awesome and everyone was excited for it to come out. But Season 9 came and went and the skin was never released. What ended up happening in Season X was a redesign of the helmet of the skin and only available with the blue coloring despite showing the red version in the item shop, and the pickaxe was used as a reboot a friend program reward instead. But despite the skin being so cool, it shared too many similarities to the Rave Mave skin from the Paladins video game, so Fortnite had to alter it. If you're ever about to buy something in the Fortnite item shop, please just spend a second clicking in the bottom right and typing in my creator code AliA. If you're enjoying this video, it's the best way to support me, so thank you so much. I remember telling you guys about new dual-wielding auto pistols that would be used as Mystique's mythic weapon during the Chapter 2 Season 4 Marvel season. This mythic weapon was finished and in the in-game files, ready to be used. It was specifically going to be found in the Knockout limited time mode, but for some reason, Fortnite never released it. It had low damage, an incredible fire rate, and you'd run through all the ammo pretty quickly. I secretly hope that this is used as some weapon in the future because it looks so fun. Did you know Fortnite were going to let us customize our battle buses? In early files of Fortnite Chapter 2, Epic even added in its own cosmetics slot that would allow you to change the look of a battle bus as you came onto the island. It was called Jump from Your Own Personalized Battle Bus, but Fortnite never followed through with releasing this as a full feature. Believe because you'd only see the battle bus for a few seconds at the beginning of the game, so why would anyone want to spend money on a cosmetic that you don't see very much? And as you already know, for different events like Winterfest, Fortnitemares, Marvel crossovers, Naruto crossovers, the battle bus gets huge makeovers anyway. It's just not in our control. The Big Poppy. This item sounds so silly, but at the same time, so much fun. This item, once thrown to the ground, would slowly inflate a giant multicolored balloon. And as it expanded, it would destroy any buildings, props, or player-built structures. And honestly, seems like a really good way to destroy the bottom of people's bases and just cause a lot of chaos. But Epic decided it wasn't cool enough and it didn't make it into the game. How cool is this weapon? The Airstrike Laser is a weapon you could aim using a laser from a huge rocket launcher, an asset that's actually already available in Fortnite Save the World, and once charged up and fired, would launch an airstrike from the sky directly on where the laser was pointing. The weapon was never fully finished, and we got airstrikes added into the game as a throwable grenade form, which is why this weapon was unfortunately scrapped. I remember back in 2019, leakers found in-game files and fully finished assets for an annual battle pass, where for a one-off fee, you would get all of the battle passes for that year. It would have come with 3 exclusive outfits, including the Brilliant Bomber, Bash, and Astra, and that Brilliant Bomber outfit has still yet to be released to this day. Fortnite actually responded to this leak and said although they considered doing an annual battle pass, they ended up scrapping the idea. And of course, a year later, Fortnite released a Fortnite Crew Pack, which is very similar. Imagine running around Fortnite with a flamethrower in your hand. Well, that almost happened well before even fire was added into the game in Chapter 2. This item only ever reached very early stages of its development, so we don't know how much damage it would do or how long the flamethrower would last for. All that we know is it would burn everything around it, including the floor, was maybe deemed a little bit too gruesome to go around and use flamethrowers on other Fortnite players, so they decided to scrap it. One of the weirdest items Fortnite ever developed are energy crystals. Found in Season 2 of Chapter 1 Fortnite files, so super early on, these crystals, once consumed, would slow you down by half, making you move very, very slowly and jump very, very slowly for 20 seconds, but all other actions would be doubled in speed. Fantastic for farming really quickly and effectively. It would even double the speed of the bullets that you were firing. This item was just way too wacky to actually work in a game of Fortnite. Imagine just seeing a lot of slow-moving characters on the Fortnite island. With all of them firing their weapons at double speed, it would be chaos. I love the idea of this item, a Hive Grenade. Worked on in the early seasons in Chapter 1, you could get a literal beehive that you could throw out and it would stick to anything as a beehive. And if any enemies got close to it, bees would come out and swarm the enemy. The rarity of this item and the amount of damage it would deal was never finalized, as development of this item was stopped quite early on. Imagine throwing a load of them on a ceiling in a house and watching the enemies come in and get attacked by bees. It would be so much fun. But despite this item never being released, I remember a super old Easter egg where there was a very low chance that certain houses in the original Chapter 1 Fortnite island would actually spawn a beehive with bees that wouldn't do anything. It was like a really random Easter egg, and I think Fortnite should finish off this item and add it back into the game. Hit the thumbs up button if you agree. A lot of people talk about the fact that they want the Zapatron to come back to Fortnite, but what if I told you there was an even cooler weapon than that was meant to come out in Chapter 1 Season 3? The Battle Pass theme was all to do with space, and there was an actual space pistol that was meant to come out as well. Seeing this pistol in action, it looks incredible, but maybe quite overpowered, as it bounces and ricochets off all surfaces and had the same damage profile as the hand cannon, which we all know is super powerful. So this thing, if you're in a massive build battle and you shot off a bullet, could bounce off all the walls, hit a player, even if you weren't aiming at them. I think it's safe to say this was never released because it would be way too powerful, but my gosh, what an incredible weapon. A lot of people forget that in the early Fortnite days, if you were playing duos or squads and you got eliminated, that was it. You just had to spectate for the rest of the game. We eventually got reboot vans, but before that, Fortnite were testing out an item called the Golden Ticket. It would take 6 seconds to activate, and once consumed, you and any of your teammates that have been eliminated would respawn on top of your own personal battle bus, not too high above the island, with the ability to drop back in, taking no fall damage. This was Fortnite's very first test of getting people back into the game after being killed, before they took up the idea of reboot vans, which they probably copied from Apex. Imagine finding a chest and being excited to see what loot you could get from it, and you go up to it and it explodes on you. Well, the Mimic Bomb was a very early item that would allow you to place down a chest that was actually a fake, and if an enemy came close to it and tried to open it or pickaxe it, it would explode. If you were smart, you'd only place this in an area that you knew a chest would spawn, otherwise it would be obvious that it was a fake chest. I think this is such a fun, creative item, but probably very confusing to new players. If some chests gave you loot and some chests hurt you, they'd never know which chest to open. With the launch of the Imposters game mode in 2021, we were actually meant to get 12 different Jonesy outfits, and they all look so cool. They'd all be different color suit variations of the Jonesy skin. It would basically be the default skins whilst you were playing this mode, a little bit like the different colored Among Us characters, but at the very last minute, they decided not to release them. Maybe because the hot water they got in with the Imposters mode being so similar to Among Us. This feature Fortnite been working on for 4 years and could still come out. And these are weapon charms. We've never seen any official images of them from Epic, but the wording for weapon charms was included in an early version of the Chapter 2 Season 1 Battle Pass. The description said, more than just new cosmetic items, these dynamic accessories show off your personal achievements. It seems these would be linked to more reward-based unlocks rather than something you could purchase and buy, meaning that showing off the charms on your weapons would be a great way to show just how good you are at Fortnite. The only thing is you don't see your weapon that closely when playing Fortnite because it's a third-person game. The big thing is your Fortnite character and maybe a weapon wrap. But with leaked in-game files talking about a first-person mode still being worked on, charms could be added into the game with the release of a first-person mode potentially in the future of Fortnite. One of the biggest collaborations I still want to see happen is between Nintendo and Fortnite, and guess what? It was going to happen. The first look at this was from leaked documents in the Epic versus Apple court case, which showed that they wanted to release a Samus Aran Metroid Prime skin in Fortnite. I mean, this skin would look incredible, but it was also later spotted in the background on one of the Batman 0 Point comics, where the silhouette of Samus could be seen in the background. Her giant shoulder pads are unmissable. That's definitely her. So plans had been put in place for this to happen, and with the release of Metroid Dread on Nintendo Switch in October last year, we were still waiting for this to happen, but Nintendo are very strict with who they work with and how they license out their characters, so maybe it'll never happen. But Nintendo, if you are watching, Pokemon, Mario, anything like that in Fortnite would be the greatest thing ever. What could possibly be better than that? Well, what about rewards for getting wins in Fortnite? We all know about that number that you can flex for your victory crowns, but what about actual physical cosmetic rewards for getting wins? I still feel like this is something Fortnite should have done since the beginning of the game, and actually, since the beginning of the game, it seemed like they were going to. At the very beginning of Fortnite Chapter 1, there were in-game files for a bronze, silver, gold, and platinum umbrella. Everyone believed that this was tied to the number of wins that you would have in-game, but despite hitting 100 wins, which I did back in the day, no rewards were given out. The golden umbrella was only once spotted being used in a competitive game of Fortnite when everyone's cosmetics were randomly selected, but these umbrellas have not been seen since, and if there's one thing I can say to Fortnite, it would be more rewards for getting those wins. Everyone in the community would love it. Fortnite also like to add and then remove things from the game without telling people. Click on screen right now to go and see 15 things that Fortnite took out of the game without telling us.